go.
It's so pretty.
One of the first memory I ever had growing up was me behind the wheel of that small, rigid inflatable boat. My mom and dad rented out one of those one day, and we were cruising down the coast of Sardinia. And the Costa Smeralda is definitely one of the most scenic places I've ever been to. So my mom was steering the boat, and I have been standing behind the console on this little seat behind the helm, and that just made me feel like I'm the captain now. That was the memory I'm talking about. And every time I wanted to steer the boat in a different direction, I felt back pressure by my mom altering the course again. So that, quite frankly speaking, was freaking me out a bit. And I wanted to steer the boat by myself and be the captain. But then again, I would have probably crashed us. And that very moment made me obsessed with boats. I don't know what it was, maybe the idea of steering a boat, or perhaps that way that everything is moving all the time, just as I am constantly on the move. I had a few model ships which I built together with my dad, and honestly tried to put anything in the water that would float. So literally anything could float my boat back then. And the first boat we got, which actually was intended to carry real life people, was a small rubber boat. We eventually upgraded that with a mighty 5 horsepower engine. With that shitbox, I had my first experience actually driving the boat. I went out with my mom only, and she was pretty much relying on me not to sink or something. So granted, she was a bit scared, but you couldn't blame her. And fast forward a few years, we finally got a proper boat that you could actually use. Back when we bought it, I was only 11 years old. And as soon as I got 18, I did my boat rating here in Austria. And the boat has been growing on me for over 10 years now. And during 2020 alone, I put 200 engine hours on it. And I was the #1 in the marina when it comes to actually using the boat. Together with Joe, a good friend of mine who is actually using the boat as well. And that little thing was the best investment our family could have ever made. Everyone will tell you this, and I will too. The first boat you buy will most probably be the wrong one. Don't get me wrong, I really loved our boat and the time we had with it. There is no way you could know what to look for when buying your first boat. There is so much more going into it than, let's say, buying a car. Today's a big day. I'm gonna pick up our dreamboat. The first time I actually saw the boat, I was just pretty overwhelmed. It was just a really big boat, and I wasn't used to big boats. I have been on that small boat for now 10 years, and it's just a big step up for all of us. So I wasn't really expecting a boat of that size. And the first time I got into the boat, it was just really hitting me. Just the first steps taking a boat, even if it's not in the water, even if it's just outside of the water, in the storage facility. It's just you step in the boat and you immediately feel like, okay, this is it. This is the boat we got. And everything smelled so brand new. On the center console, you have a little cabin that you can open up. It's like an oversized cabinet. And if you open it up, it's just the smell of it. It's just a new fiberglass. Finally, you can take it all in. It's just a really beautiful thing to do. And later we took the boat for a first ride. It was a bit scary getting the boat into the water because they had that crane. I'm sure they're 100% confident and professional with that crane, but there's just something about floating a boat freely on a crane that's just nerve-wracking for me. We put the boat in the water, and then we went there for a ride. That boat did feel to me like it was so much bigger than the old one. And I was a little bit scared, to be quite frank with you, because I didn't know if I could handle a boat this size. It's just so much bigger than the old one. I couldn't wait to get it back to our marina, put it in the water and actually use the boat. And I can't wait to do that. Most people will simply not understand why I would put all my savings into a boat. I mean, I don't even have a car. Once I'll find a good enough explanation, I'll tell you, I promise. But for now, let's just say anything can happen tomorrow, so why not now? I didn't want to wait to get older to make a boat purchase seem a bit more reasonable, because it never is. A boat purchase is just never a reasonable decision. Just there's no way you could explain to someone that you need a boat. Just you don't need a boat. There's just no reason you need a boat. But over the last 10 years, I have been on a lot of different boats, fast ones, small ones, expensive ones, and budget options. And with that experience, I kind of know what to look for with the next one. And for me, I finally wanted to have something to call my own. I saved up for it for the past 4 years while running a successful enough business as a filmmaker, and can now call myself a proud half of a boat owner. And as of now, we're not 100% sure about the boat's name, but I'm sure we'll find one worthy of what this thing will be for us. And I can't wait to have all the beautiful memories and experiences that vessel will provide us with. See you soon on the water.